Welcome back to the last day of our sales sprint. This week has been so juicy, so good. Talking directly about sales, which I know for me, it's a word that I used to try to avoid, a word that I didn't like the sound of at all, and a thing that I didn't used to like to do. So I hope by watching this past week, you felt a little bit more empowered and a little bit more excited about your sales, because ultimately that is the heartbeat of your business. That is the heartbeat of the things that you want to achieve. That's how you're going to get to them. So this week we've talked about all sorts of things. On Monday, I gave you a breakdown of selling on social media and how to position yourself to sell more effectively and get more people inquiring and booking. On Tuesday, we talked about what did we talk about on Tuesday? Of course, I'm forgetting what the agenda was. On Tuesday, we talked about AI and how to improve your AI created content. Wednesday was all about client experience and how to enhance that to tap into bookings that maybe you didn't even think about before, but truly the people that have already booked with you are a fountain of opportunity for you. So we talked about client workflows with Karina on Wednesday. And yesterday we talked about sales calls and how the mindset you need going into your sales calls to be successful and get more people saying yes to you on those calls. So today we're talking about how to amplify your authority some more. Authorities, obviously that's an important part of what you do, but I want to give you some ways today to really take that up another notch, take that up another level. So let's talk about that. Jump in the chat. Tell me how you're doing on this lovely Friday. I'm feeling great. The sun is shining. Got my workout in. My matcha is finished. So I got all the energy in the world. All right, let's talk about amplifying your authority. As a travel expert, and especially as the go-to expert in your local area. What I love about leveraging the place that you live is that you already have like at least a little bit of built-in rapport with people locally. So today, all the ideas I'm going to give you are focused on how you position yourself to be the local travel authority, the person that people are like, oh yeah, that she can book that trip for you, or he can book that trip for you. That's what we want. We want to create sort of like a local persona as that go-to travel expert for you. So the number one thing I always recommend to travel advisors in building that local authority and trust is, let's start with what you can do online. So like, you don't even need to leave your house. You don't even need to talk to another person to build that local authority. So first things first, you want to make sure that you have your city in your Instagram bio and in your Facebook, if it allows. I think it's mostly just Instagram, but I think you can have your place, your location in your Facebook bio as well. It's been a while since I've looked, and Meta changes things all the time. But you want to have your city in your bio, because that's one of the things that Instagram uses to feed information to people. That's a searchable function. So if Instagram is looking at your account, it's going to know, oh, this people are looking for things in this area. This person in this account is relevant to them. So I recommend having your city. You don't need your full address. Do not put your full address unless you have a brick and mortar travel agency. Don't put your home address, just your city and your state, or your city and your province, depending on where you live in the world. And that's all you need. You're already starting to like set yourself up to be known as a local business, and people love supporting local businesses. So that's the first thing. The second thing is using some local hashtags and engaging with local hashtags, like hashtag your town name, hashtag your town eats. So if you live in Austin, hashtag Austin, Texas, hashtag Austin eats, hashtag your town business. So hashtag Austin travel agency. So that's a nice way to just let people know, hey, hi, I'm over here and I'm in your community as well. The next thing is following and commenting on local businesses' posts. We all love it when we get engagement, right? Aren't you excited when someone comments on your posts? Absolutely. So you can strategically make a list of local businesses that are either could be potential referrals for you, may have a similar type of clientele to you, and or popular businesses in general, because that business is popular, especially online, then other local people are also engaging with them. So it's good for them to see, oh, that's a travel agent in my community in the comments with me. So what I recommend doing is you go and you comment on your local business's posts. You want to be known by your fellow local business owners. Let them know that you exist. so they can follow along, see what you do, and recommend you to other people. This is a great way to get local referrals and start to get to be known and build that momentum. And then even better when you're commenting on those local businesses posts as just like that added piece of engagement for you. You can also like the comments of the other people in the comment section. Great way to just like, again, build that local authority and that local trust. The other thing that you can do is host Instagram lives. Are there any local businesses or local associations you think could benefit from your expertise as a travel advisor? I'm going to go with absolutely yes. So maybe you want to approach the local chambers of commerce because you are interested in business travel or leisure travel for business owners, and do a live on the best places to go this winter or the best places to vacation where you can have work-life balance and things like that. So you want to think of, are there any accounts or associations or anybody who would find what I do helpful, and can I go live with them? Do a 20-minute chat about a type of travel that would be helpful to their ideal clients. So let's say there's a really popular mom blogger. Maybe you want to go live now is a really good time to be talking about, as the kids are going back to school, thinking and starting to think about winter break and spring break and things like that. So maybe you approach that local mom blogger to say, hey, would you like to, I think this could be a really helpful topic for your audience. Would you like to go live on the best places to go for spring break this winter from insert airport that's closest to you? So you're looking at ways to just build that momentum. Again, it's credibility, it's trust, and it's authority at the end of the day. And that's what we're talking about today. Another thing that you can do and spearhead if someone else in your town or your city hasn't done it yet is a little Instagram group chat for local businesses to support each other. So invite the really nice restaurant and invite the local lawyer and invite the boutique wedding shop and the local photographer and the local realtor. And so then you can kind of like help each other, use it as an opportunity to help each other out by engaging on posts and things like that. You're building rapport with them. They are travelers. They are going to think of you when they're ready to book, but it puts you in a really good position to be referred to other people in the community, especially if you're bringing people into this chat who have lots of foot traffic, who engage with other local people quite a bit. I'm thinking realtors. I'm thinking people who have cafes and things like that. They're constantly engaging with people. They're constantly having conversations. And wouldn't it be so nice if when travel comes up, you are the person that they bring up in conversation? So if that doesn't exist, I would send a little DM to maybe like 5 business owners to say, hey, I'm a fellow business owner in insert place. I have a little group chat going for local business owners to drop your posts when you post, and so we can engage and help each other. Would you like to be a part of that little DM group and see if they want to join? I'm going to guarantee you most people are going to say yes. So this is almost like a cute little, I mean, I say that it's cute, but it's a great way for all of you to level up your businesses and potentially get more referrals. But it's a really nice gesture to invite people to this, and they're going to remember you for that. How are we doing in the chat? How's everybody feeling? Has anybody tried any of the things that I've talked about so far, especially the local hashtags, engaging with local businesses, and maybe starting your own little like local networking group, especially on the social media side? Right now, I'm giving you all the things that you can do before without having to leave the house. So I love it when, let's keep things easy. I love it when I can get things done without even having to put on real pants. Okay. I'm in the sweatpants, still doing work, and we love that. Are you suggesting doing this under your business Facebook or personal page? And do you mean engaging with local folks, or do you mean starting the networking group? I think for engaging with local people, I recommend a couple things. So you can absolutely do it on Facebook pages. If you've got some really bumping businesses in your area that are active on Facebook that have a good following, you can absolutely go to their page and see and comment on their posts and see who else is commenting on their posts. I would do it that's a really good question. If I was on Instagram, I would do it as your business. If I'm on Facebook, you can do it as your business or as your personal, but with the caveat that your personal account is set up with you very prominently displayed as a travel expert. So you're making sure that even though it's your personal Facebook, you still have a nice headshot. Maybe you have a nice cover photo of something travel related, and travel advisors in your title, and your website's in your bio on your personal account. So if people do go to you and they go and look at your page, they'll be like, okay, this is a local travel advisor in my area. So just make sure that your personal page is set up to let people know, to like drop the right cues to people. And on Instagram, definitely recommend doing it with your business account. So you are going into uh, local businesses Instagram accounts when they post, your comment and say like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Wow, that's such a beautiful home that you're selling, whatever you want to say. And is there anyone else in the comments engaging that looks like a local person? Like their post, like their comment, maybe even leave them a quick note to engage and say, yeah, that's so funny, or whatever you want to engage with that person. And then, of course, there's the personal DMing. And if you don't want to start a networking group, at least introduce yourself to other local businesses. Or are they posting stories? Stories and DMs is like the most intimate way to engage with people. So if you see that the local realtor and the local wedding dress shop and the local photographer are posting stories, I would get in there and I would leave engagement on their stories. Just say, wow, that's so funny, or oh my gosh, your dog is so cute, this listing looks great. I'll let other people, if I think of anybody who might want to view this home, I'll pass it along. Little gestures like that will absolutely start to build that reciprocity. And I love it when you're doing it with fellow business owners, because they're going to appreciate that engagement. They're going to appreciate that you're reaching out, that you're being proactive. And this is sort of what Shannon and I talked about yesterday, which is that, the conversation starts before you get on the call with people. You're setting the tone for how people view you and how that relationship can start, the momentum can start to build before you even get on a sales call. I can't tell you how many people I have hired and booked over the last few years, just from Instagram engagement, just from back and forth conversation in DMs, dropping into my stories and liking them now and then, leaving comments on my travel posts, even though like they're not soliciting my business. They're not necessarily saying, hey, I could book this for you. But I have kept them top of mind, or they've kept top of mind with me. So when I was ready, I was like, oh, I know the perfect person to help me with overhaul the messaging or help with our email strategy or whatever, because those people have been proactive over a few months. I started to do this. It is intimidating. I'm learning to step into my authority and power and quieting the imposter syndrome. This week has been so helpful. Ooh, 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 yes. And that is such a real thing, because like when people are like, oh, you're a travel expert and you're an authority, you're like, who are you talking to? Is it the person behind me? But you're absolutely right. It really does start with the mindset piece of it, and truly stepping into that role and accepting, like, you know what? I actually do know a little bit more about travel than probably, I say a little, but probably a lot more about travel than most people do. So let me just sit in that authority. You know what I mean? Let's just like let that, you got to say it in the mirror every day, but it's so important to not flinch, because there will be tons of things and situations that will make you want to like, oh, I don't know. But stepping into that authority is really, it starts up here. And none of us, I kid you not, I have sat in circles, I have masterminded with people that are billionaires, people that have sold their business for $200 million, $500 million, that are crushing it. And for most normal functioning people, there's always a little bit of imposter syndrome there. There's some, it creeps up now and then, even on me. And I've been an entrepreneur for 13, almost 14 years. I've ran this current business for 6 years. And in the last 2 years, as we've really stepped into our our authority as a tech company, I have had to like re-examine my own my own authority as a like tech founder. Like, what? When if I'd said that to myself 6 years ago, it would have been like, I'm going back to bed. I don't have time for this. I can't. So it's really just like step by step. Every little action shows you like, okay, I can do this. It's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. We'll live through this. Okay, maybe I am an expert. So I'm so proud of you for taking the steps anyway, because that's the thing, is that if the imposter syndrome is not going to go away, if it's going to creep up now and then, let's just do the thing anyway. And let's just accept that maybe now and then that is going to creep up, but when it does, we know how to address it. We know that like that's just our brain trying to protect us, trying to be like, maybe this is a little too scary, maybe we don't want to do this, but it's protection mode and nothing else. Okay, so we talked about the hashtag strategy. We talked about engaging in the DMs. We talked about starting a local little group chat, networking group. And if you don't want to do that, like I was saying, you can simply just engage with local businesses and or make an intro to say, hey, fellow business over here, I love the houses that you post, they're so gorgeous. Maybe one of these days I'll buy one of them. Or fellow business owner over here, I love popping into your cafe every Sunday to grab a scone, they are so delicious. Whatever you want to say. Or, oh my gosh, your family photos are so beautiful. The next time our family's doing a shoot, I will definitely get in touch. Or I don't have any kids, but my friends do. Maybe I can recommend you sometime or something like that. So look for ways to just genuinely, and this is not something you need to spend all day doing. All you need to do is spend 10 minutes on this a day and consider it like your sales task for the day. I forget what Shannon called it. Your sales activities. She had an acronym for it, but I forget what that was. But it's considered a sales activity. It's a sales building activity. Right now, you're just in the relationship building part of it, but absolutely consider it like a sales part of your business. Okay, let's dive a little deeper now and let's really, really step into that authority and talk about, drum roll please, pitching local media. And that could be your local newspaper, your local TV station, your local radio station, but pitching for guest features or to be interviewed for articles. But honestly, I think the move here to start is a guest feature in your local newspaper. And that's because, like, I've been in the media world before. Let me tell you guys, journalists are stretched thin. I'm going to guarantee that your local editor of your newspaper is like, what are we talking about today? What are we talking about this week? And there's so much pressure on so many of them because now they have to compete online. There's so much news happening and so many things happening. So I'm going to guarantee you that if you go and pitch your local newspaper editor, a juicy article about travel that's relevant to your local area, I'm going to guarantee you that they're going to say yes. I'm going to guarantee you that they're going to say yes because they're going to, hallelujah, praise the Lord, that somebody has come up with a piece of content that they didn't have to come up with themselves. So it's a great opportunity for you to get local coverage. Maybe you pitch them a little guest article to write about something like local lifestyle or local travel. So we're thinking about the next 6 to 8 months. Right now, the kids are going back to school, so people are thinking about their winter holiday. So is there a relevant winter holiday article that you could suggest, like 10 ways to choose a resort for your family trip this winter? Let me think what else. Spring break is coming up too, and they're always like thinking a couple months ahead, so you can start to even pitch for that. The best spring break spots for 2026, how to choose the best resorts with kids clubs, whatever your niche is, figure out what you can pitch your local market. What's trending in couples travel right now? Should you have a destination wedding or shouldn't you? So thinking about some articles or topics, I would go to your local um, newspaper's website, find the editor's email, have ChatGPT help you write a pitch email with 3 article suggestions. I would introduce yourself, say, hey, I'm so and so. Here's the company that I own. I'm an expert in insert type of travel. I would love to do a guest feature could be helpful to our insert community members of whatever city you're in for their winter travel. Here's what I'd like to submit, topics on this, or this. Would you be interested? I can have these written and ready to go in X amount of days or X amount of weeks. So that's a great way. If you have a local magazine as well, I know some cities, and depending on what area you're in, there might be a local magazine. So that might be worth looking into. So I know that I'm in an area that has like at least a couple of hyper local city focused magazines that are lifestyle. And then down the road in like the cottage country area where the lakes are, they also have an article. They also have a magazine that they I think they do 4 times a year. And so if I were a luxury travel advisor in this area, I would be pitching them for local coverage. Like, where are people vacationing? The best lakes in the world or something like that. That would be very timely and relevant to the type of content that they're producing and the type of work that they're like for the area that they're in. So, yeah, this is a little push because it's intimidating, yes, to pitch your local media. I think newspapers are a great place to start, but I'm going to guarantee you, like I said, they're desperate. They're desperate for content. They have to keep up with so much, and there's just a lot of pressure on newspapers and publications now to keep up with the demand of content. So I'm going to guarantee you they're going to say yes if you give them 3 really juicy ideas that you're going to write yourself. So again, you can use ChatGPT to help you write this, outline the main points. Of course, we don't want to let ChatGPT write all of it. That is a big problem right now for publications. But what you want is maybe outline the bones of it, outline as much of it as you can, and then let ChatGPT fix up the language, fix up the grammar. The editor is also going to do that for you. But yes, this is a great, stellar way to build authority. And what you can also do is after that first one is then you pitch them maybe like a quarterly feature. So you're thinking about what's my calendar over the year and what are some things I can write about for my niche that would be really helpful to the local community, and pitch them once this first one's out the door, it does well, then you pitch them like, hey, FYI, I can write a feature once a month or once every quarter on various topics. What I can do is submit those to you, at the beginning of the year, the top of the year, or the beginning of the quarter, and write them and send them by X date. So great way to build authority and such an easy way. Now for the brave, for the really, really brave, you can also pitch your local radio station for spots and your local TV stations for spots. Again, same thing. They're looking for content ideas. They're looking for things that are timely and relevant. So right now, again, great opportunity to be talking about winter getaways for couples or for families. And maybe you live in a big enough city where there is niche down audiences like magazines, like radio stations. And the other thing is podcasts. There's so many podcasts out there now. And so you can absolutely find niche podcasts in your local area. And beyond your local area too, there's so many podcasts out there that are specific to different audiences. So you might want to pitch them to be a guest. Just say, hey, I've been listening for a little while. I love your segment on XYZ. I would love to come and chat about the top places that couples are going in 2026. Or I'd love to come and chat about how to pick the best kids club for how to pick the best resort with a kids club this October. Do you have time to fit me in? And again, AI can help you kind of craft a authority focused conversational email to send as an introduction and as an ask for pitching to be on their podcast or on their radio show or on television. I love a podcast and I love a radio show because, again, a little bit less pressure to have to show your face, but you're sharing your voice, and that's still a lot of authority that you can build there as well. I would love to know in the chat, has anybody that's listening ever pitched local media and or gotten coverage in your local newspaper, radio station, or on a podcast? Okay, let's talk about some of the things that you can do now that will require you to leave the house, but still very valuable ways to build that local authority and that credibility. Oh, actually, one thing I forgot to mention, if you guys have you heard of HARO? Help a reporter out. You can Google that. That is a way for you to offer expert quotes for media coverage. Let me drop that in the chat for you guys. So it's basically a website where reporters are looking for people that they might be able to quote or experts that they might be able to interview. And it's a great way for you so if you don't feel comfortable maybe necessarily writing a whole article or writing a whole guest feature and submitting it to your local newspaper, what you can offer is to be an expert and to be quoted in the article. And that could be locally, but also Haro gives you access to lots of different reporters at any given time looking for quotes and looking for expertise on various things. So that's a great option as well. And you can build the momentum that way. You don't have to go all in and write an article. I would recommend that you do. I think this week is about bold action. And if you're tuning in, you're watching this right now, I know one of the things that you want to improve is your sales. And so this is just like a bold way to just like bulldoze right through that imposter syndrome, the struggle to get more inquiries and bookings. This is a fantastic way to just bulldoze right through that and get to the other side where more people are inquiring and more people are booking. But Haro is a great way to start as well. Next thing is some of the things that may require you to leave the house. Ooh, actually, I didn't mention this, but there are so many Facebook groups as well. So you're going to have your local Facebook groups, of course. The buy and sell, maybe not the best place to go and try and be an authority on travel because people are buying and selling things. But there are going to be local networking groups, local community groups. Those are a great way to build authority and credibility as well. But the other thing I would recommend is networking groups that are outside of your local area. There's tons of groups on women's networking, women's entrepreneurship, all of it. So I would go beyond the industry, try and find some of these groups, and they're a great way to network and a great way to be helpful to other people. And again, build the authority as the trusted travel expert. So you can drop in those groups. A lot of them will have like Friday welcomes and things where you can introduce yourself and introduce your business. So they're a great opportunity to pop in to just say hi and let people know, hey, I'm a travel expert. So if anybody has any questions or anybody wants to have a travel segment on their podcast, I'm happy to be a speaker. I'm happy to be a guest. If anybody has any questions about traveling, about entrepreneurship, how about traveling as a business owner and how you could do that more efficiently, I'm here to help. So that's another option too. Okay, moving on to the things that require us to leave the house and maybe put on not the sweatpants, but the professional pants. So if you're not a part of your local Chamber of Commerce, BNI group, or your association, your business or entrepreneurship association, absolutely join those and go to their networking events once a month. Especially if, like, one of the things I always say is when you're leaning towards luxury travel, one of the best ways and one of the most effective ways to grow that business is by networking, is by building your network of people who know you. So your local Chamber of Commerce, great place. It's going to have business owners and they also need to travel. They also need to book trips. And the best part is they're busy. They got a lot going on. So they definitely, if nothing else, they need a travel advisor. If nobody else, at least then, they definitely need a travel advisor. So join those groups, offer to do little lunch and learns and little segments on travel, picking travel, how to, that kind of stuff. From the Chamber of Commerce, the local Chamber of Commerce, it is going to be business focused. So you'll have to figure out ways to kind of insert yourself into conversations there that would serve that community. Local charities and ways to volunteer. That's a great way. Again, it's a little bit more time consuming. It does require you to leave the house, but a lot of like sitting on boards, volunteering for charity events, that's a great way to meet people who are going to fall into that more luxury travel category as well. Are you able to have branded booths at local fairs or farmers markets or expos? I would do that. Or even if not a branded booth, can you at least like walk around and give away something that could be really helpful to you, like something travel related? And then, of course, the other thing is partnering with local businesses. Can you do a co-hosted pop-up event? So I know I've talked to advisors in the past that have done partnerships with local wineries, and they are promoting their river cruise, their group river cruises and things like that. So can you partner with boutiques or coffee shops or anything to do pop-ups together? So I know that there is a really, really beautiful vintage shop somewhere a few neighborhoods over. And every year they do a fashion show. Every year they do like this gorgeous fashion show. They curate their items, things sell out. And so if I were a travel advisor, I might go and like, see, could we partner on like a travel segment at the fashion show? Can we just like curate 5 outfits that are specific to like vacation, travel, or like resort wear? So look for some creative ways to partner with people, get yourself out there. The best type of relationship building is always going to be in person. As much as I love the internet and I love Instagram and I love everything that you can do and achieve without even having to leave the house, there's still so much that you can achieve and get to if you're willing to just put yourself out there, just that little bit extra. All right. Do I have any questions in the chat? Yeah. So I think that some of your easiest hits, number one, is going to be getting onto Instagram, getting into Facebook groups, but especially Instagram is such a wealth of like so many people in your local area. And a great way to just start the relationship building process with them is going to be simply by engaging, starting maybe that little group chat of fellow business owners where you can support each other. And the second thing I would recommend, because it's such an easy, low hanging fruit, like I'm going to guarantee that you're going to get a yes. You can come chat with me if you don't get a yes, and we can talk about what your pitch was. But your local newspaper, your local online publication, they need content. They need content. So if you can think of a really juicy topic related to your niche that you can write an article, write a guest feature for them on, you're going to get the yes. I'm going to guarantee you. And then you've got local coverage. And then you can also look at like, is there local newspapers like a couple towns over or a couple of like cities over? You might want to do like the region that you're in. So if one of them says yes, chances are that the one town over or the next city over is going to say yes too. And depending on how big of a city that you're in and how big your reach is and how much like how much of the surrounding area you want to cover. You're going to want to pitch them different ideas, mind you. You're not going to want to give them the exact same thing, but once you get it right once, it's really easy to like let that momentum build. So great way to build authority and a great way to get yourself in media and have that lovely authority associated with that under your belt. All right. I hope that this has been helpful for everybody in helping you to just look at your sales a little bit differently this week. There are so many ways to get inquiries and to get bookings. Shannon and I shared that stat yesterday that the average travel advisor makes $20,000 a year. And, you know, Shannon shared her goal that 11% of women, and I know this industry has so many talented, smart, amazing women, but 11% of female business owners and entrepreneurs make it to the six-figure mark. And wrapped up in all of that and thinking about how you might get there, your sales really needs to be an important thing to think about. There are so many ways to, you know, slice and dice it, lots of different options. We've given you a bunch of different options. Highly recommend going back to watch Monday's session on selling on social media and how you can do that more effectively. They were all great sessions, mind you. Wednesday's session on how to tap into the people who have already booked with you was really, really good. And then yesterday's session framing the mindset that you need, the relationship building around selling, and the things that you need to bring into your sales calls to get more yeses. Really, really good session as well. So I hope this has been helpful. And I hope I see you this October at Altitude Conference. It is the only sales and marketing conference for travel advisors. So over those 4 days that we're going to be together, that is all that we're focused on. This is it. Sales and marketing, and our chant, our war cry at that conference is going to be more inquiries, more bookings, more inquiries, more bookings. So if that is not going to be achieved, it's not on the agenda. Every single session has been designed to help you tackle at least something with your sales and your marketing and set up the systems you need, because ultimately this is what it comes down to. If you're looking at your business right now and you're not really sure where your inquiries are coming from with a level of consistency, then it sounds like you probably need systems. Or you're in your business, people are coming in, but you're feeling overwhelmed with all of the things, but you know that you still want room to grow. You know that there's still more money to be had out there. The travel industry is a $1.5 billion. I always say billion, and that's an accident. It's a $1.5 trillion industry. And there's no reason why you, as a travel advisor in this world where everybody is traveling right now, cannot make six figures. And it requires the right sales and marketing systems in place working for you to make that happen. So that's our sole focus at the conference, is helping you to set up the sales and marketing systems to get more inquiries, get more bookings, and then nurture your people over time so they continue to book with you, they continue to come back, and they refer you to other people. Absolutely. This week has been a great foundation for what's about to go down and prepare for October. You're absolutely right. This has been like a little taste, a little tiny little morsel of what is going down this October. Because if you show up this October to the Altitude Conference and you implement just half of the things that we're going to be doing together, I you will get more inquiries and you will get more bookings. There is money to be made in this industry, a lot of it. And you just have to get strategic to make it happen. So it's going down this October Altitude Conference, October 19th to the 23rd in Cancun. If you want the details, comment conference. And ManyChat will do its thing and send you the link. And that is actually one of the sessions that we're going to be talking about, is automating things like that. I did a poll yesterday over on Facebook about what are the sessions that people want the most. And it sounds like a lot of you really need to nail down that lead magnet, get more people inquiring and on your list. I know a lot of you are interested in the session on how to improve your sales calls. And we chatted with Shannon about that yesterday, is the formula that you're going to use going into every sales call after the conference, building that for you, and how to set up really, really cheap, really simple Facebook ads to bring in more leads. So we're doing a bunch of that stuff. And then of course, client experience. That was a top, I think that was the second most popular option. Making sure that you have a client experience in place that nurtures every single person who books with you. So you don't have a leaky bucket of people who come in and then fall off. You're constantly nurturing them so they want to book with you again. Making sure I didn't miss any questions. But it's going to be really good, really, really good this October. And we're completely transforming this space. It's going to be like no other conference in this industry that you've ever been to. So we're really excited to like wipe the slate clean and do something really fun and interesting for you guys this October. Absolutely. We'll think about doing a mini chat training. But yes, that is on the agenda because it's essential now to make sure that you have things that are running without you having to do anything, that without you having to be the one constantly like holding it all on your shoulders. And that's a big part of what we're doing in October, is taking some of that burden off of you so the sales can continue to grow without you having to be the one to do everything all the time. All right, everybody. It's been lovely to chat on this Friday morning. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll catch you all later.